There's a book that I recommend to people more than any other. It's changed my life, my relationships, my understanding of the world. Today, I'll be sharing 5 important lessons that I've learned from The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. Hi friends, I'm Ryan Juni. I've started 4 companies worth over $300 million, and I've invested in dozens of others. Combining science and ancient spiritual wisdom has supercharged my success, and today I teach that to entrepreneurs. I call it Quintessence. I first learned of this book in 2009 after I was heartbroken from a failed relationship. I was having lunch with a friend and he made an offhand remark. He jokingly said, "The book The Game is how you attract women, but the book The Way of the Superior Man is how you keep them." I'd never heard of the book, so I took a mental note to check it out. Little did I know that this small moment would change the course of my life as I discovered the spiritual teachings of David Deida and began a lifelong journey of discovering the truth. I've worked a lot with David in person, and today I assist in his intensive workshops. So the title of this book is a little weird. Don't get hung up on that. It's not saying that men are superior to women or anything like that, but it is saying that there is a way to live that is superior to all other ways of living. And while the book is primarily written for an audience of men, every woman that I've recommended this book to absolutely loved it as well. I turn to this book anytime I have an issue in my relationship, and I kid you not, the answer is always within the pages. I'm going to share with you 5 important ideas from the book. Now there are 51 chapters in the book, each with an important life lesson, so if you like what I share in this video, I encourage you to buy the book and check it out because there's a lot more to discover. The first lesson: men and women are different. This may or may not be a controversial statement to you. I believe that in our current society we have confused the notion of equality and sameness. Men and women are absolutely equal, but they are not the same. And trying to minimize the difference between men and women is the cause of a lot of suffering in the world. David uses the terms masculine and feminine to refer to those unique qualities that exist within all of us. The masculine prioritizes purpose, while the feminine prioritizes love and relationships. The masculine seeks freedom and stillness and emptiness and consciousness, whereas the feminine seeks love and fullness and dynamic change and life. This yin-yang duality is present in all of us. The masculine seeks to end a conversation, to find resolution. The feminine wants the energy, the motion of the interaction and wants it to continue. I want to point out that these terms masculine and feminine are not gender terms. While it is true that in general, men tend to be more comfortable in their masculine essence and women tend to be more comfortable in their feminine essence, it's not always the case. And it's certainly not true of all men and women. In fact, around 10% of people are probably more comfortable in the opposite essence to their gender, and a further 10% are probably equally balanced in both. In this video, I'll use the shorthand terms man and woman to refer to someone who is primarily comfortable in their masculine essence or primarily comfortable in their feminine essence, but please keep in mind these can apply to any and all genders. So what are some other key differences between the masculine and the feminine? Well, for one, the masculine grows through criticism and challenge, whereas the feminine grows through praise and love. If you're a man and you've tried challenging your woman to help her grow and improve, you probably learned pretty quickly that that doesn't work so well. Another difference is that the masculine always holds a grid of space and time of what people have said and committed and planned, whereas the feminine is always in the moment, in the flow of what's happening right now. The masculine is outside of life, witnessing all that is happening, drawing trends over time and making predictions. The feminine is focused on the now and what she feels in her body and in her emotions now. I'll repeat again that we all have both essences inside of us. I've known many women, including my wife, who are deeply feminine at their core, but are also extremely good at stepping into their masculine and animating that energy when needed. So take a moment to feel into your own core essence, behind all the shells and layers that have built up over your life, maybe because of past traumas or because of expectations from others. Feel into your deepest core and feel where you feel most at home. It's really important to get an understanding of who you are and what your essence is. In future videos, I'll be sharing some exercises to help you uncover your deepest essence. So hit subscribe and the bell to be notified of those. Lesson number 2 from The Way of the Superior Man: polarity. If you want to create an intimate relationship, there are 2 critical ingredients: love and polarity. I'm not going to talk about love. I'll save that for another video. But you can certainly feel love for many different types of people: your intimate partner, your parents, your children, your friends, if you're really enlightened, your enemies. But the concept of polarity is reserved only for your intimate partners. In short, a more masculine man will be turned on by a more feminine woman, and vice versa. A more balanced man will be turned on by a more balanced woman. So the more extreme you are on one end of the spectrum, the more extreme is the person that you will be attracted to sexually. Think of it like 2 poles of a magnet. The stronger the opposing force, the stronger the attraction. Polarity is changing moment to moment in our relationships, but there are things we can do to increase the polarity of the moment. Depolarization of relationships is one of the main reasons that people break up. So how do you polarize a moment? Well, you simply sink further into your natural core essence. If you're more feminine, you should focus on opening and blooming like a flower, feeling your body swaying and moving, expressing your emotions without holding back, and being infinitely responsive to the changing currents of energy in the moment. If you're more masculine, you should focus on grounding in empty, spacious awareness, stillness, imperturbable like a mountain, and then feeling with your heart outwards into your woman, feeling what she needs, and then taking decisive action to give it to her. If you don't polarize the moment, what happens? As a man, if you don't take decisive action and create a safe container for your woman to relax and surrender and bloom open, then she will be called to step into her masculine and do the job for you. As a woman, if you don't bring the emotional expressiveness, be it soft tenderness or fiery rage, to the moments of your relationship, then your man will become more feminized and emotional. Now remember that polarity is for intimate relationships. There are many situations where polarization is not appropriate. For example, at work. At work, it's perfectly normal for a woman to be in her masculine, getting the job done. The last thing I'll say about polarity is a warning. The woman who turns you on the most sexually will be the same woman that turns you off in most other areas of your life. It will be frustrating, but you have to grow to love this. You have to think of it as flowery combat or playful opposition. It's a choice you're making to prioritize polarity in your intimacy over comfortable coexistence. Lesson number 3. This one is for the men. Don't withhold your masculine gift. Asking your woman to make decisions is withholding your masculine gift from her. It forces the woman to step into her masculine in order to make a decision, to become hard and sharp, and to begin to distrust your leadership, making her unable to surrender and open to you. Saying whatever you want is a statement of a friend, not a statement of a lover. It's not that she can't make decisions. In fact, maybe she makes them better than you. But in moments where you want to create polarity, you need to make the decisions for her so that she can relax and flow, following the wisdom of her body and her emotions. But here's the key, guys. Don't make selfish decisions based on what's best for you. Instead, feel into what she wants and make decisions that are best for her. In fact, make decisions that are best for both of you and best for the whole universe in that moment. Making decisions that are best for you and ignoring the needs and wants of your woman. That's what David Deida calls first stage. It's the asshole, macho, masculine stereotype from the 50s with his quiet, submissive, subservient wife. Now, making all your decisions together, sharing all tasks and all work and all plans equally, that's what David calls the second stage, and while it is a much better way to live than the first stage, it leads to massive depolarization in your relationships, which is extremely common in relationships today. Offering your masculine gift of leadership and decision making with an open heart, feeling what she desires and creating a moment of love and openness for both of you. That's the third stage. And that's where we touch the divine. Lesson number 4. Feminine emotions are like the weather. You don't ask why the wind is blowing the direction that it is right now, and you shouldn't ask why a woman feels the way she does right now. The truth is, just like the weather, the source of your woman's emotions are way too complex and chaotic to be understood by simple, rational terms. Asking her to explain her emotions to you is forcing her to do things the masculine way, analyzing, solving, seeking resolution. Sure, she could do it, but it would depolarize the moment. Instead, penetrate her moods with love and openness. Pick her up, spin her around, tell a joke, make a funny face, kiss her softly and tenderly. Feel whatever the moment needs to be open to more love and give her that. Lesson number 5 from the book, How to Interpret Your Woman's Complaints About You. Don't take her complaints literally. Don't listen to the words or the content of what she's saying, but do trust her body and her wisdom as an oracle of the truth. If she's upset with you, hear what she's saying simply as, something is off right now, and then look inward to figure out what that is. Don't argue with her about her interpretation of what it is. Remember, that's just bringing both of you into your masculine, but be damn sure to trust that her body is right when it feels that something is off. As David says, a man should hear his woman's complaints as warning bells and then do his best to align his life with his truth and purpose. However, if he believes in the literal content of her complaint, he will immediately go off course, for the content reflects her present mood more than a careful observation of his tendencies over time. Her complaint should be valued as a reminder to get it together, and perhaps as an indication as to how, but more often than not, the specifics of her complaint do not describe the real underlying action or tendency that needs to be changed. Don't argue with her about the garage and the job interview. That's not what she's talking about, even though that's what she's talking about. Hear her complaints as the universe giving you signs about your life. You know the amount of bullshit you are kidding yourself with. So does she. It just hurts her more than it does you. So there you have it. 5 important lessons from The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. There's tons and tons of gold jam-packed into this book, so if you'd like to learn more, click on the link in the description below to buy it and dig deeper. I'm going to be sharing many more lessons from David Deida and other great spiritual teachers here on my channel, so hit subscribe and the bell icon, and I'll see you next time.